Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. So today's video is going to be my 5-star predictions video for 2022. I have a list of 11 books here. It was going to be 10, but I decided I should add my current read onto this list because my current read is a 5-star prediction. Now I don't actually own all of these books physically because some of these books that are on this list haven't come out yet, and it's kind of like my most anticipated releases. So at the moment it's 10. We'll start. I'm going to use, because I do own some of the books in the series that they're tied to, I'm going to use some of those books and then I'll show up the cover if it's out. So yeah, anyways, let's get started with this video. So the first book on this list is, of course, my current read, which is a 5-star prediction, and that is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. At the time of reading this, I am about 92 pages into this book, so I've barely scratched the surface. I finished this book, but yeah, you'll find out all my thoughts and feelings on it so far in this video. I will tell you, as it stands, this book is definitely going to be a 5 stars. It's everything that I wanted when reading this, and I figured it would be based off of one of the tropes, which I'll tell you right now, and it's actually why most of these books that I have in this list, why they're 5-star predictions, is because I really like LGBTQ plus books. They're really heartwarming and sweet. I feel for the characters every single time. It's sort of my niche. I love it. I think LGBTQ plus books are great. I love seeing the representation. Every single one I've read has done it really, really well so far. I love it, and I usually eat those books up. So yeah, very, very looking forward to continue reading this book. So, the first book on this list, these are in no particular order, deals with one series in which I have 4 books of, and that is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. This being Heartstopper Volume 5 is the 5-star predictions. I have here with me currently Heartstopper Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, which I've tabbed, and Volume 4. All of these volumes got 5 stars from me. I love Nick and Charlie. Nick and Charlie are my babies. They are the sweetest. I love them. Yes, this is LGBTQ+, which is probably why I love this. This book series also deals with topics such as like mental health, which I think is also really why I love LGBTQ+ books, is they deal with hard-hitting topics. Just learning how people go through hard dealing with topics, I really feel for. So yes, we are definitely adding Heartstopper Volume 5 as a 5-star predictions. If I gave every single book here in this graphic novel series so far 5 stars, you best believe that the 5th and final volume is going to be a 5-star prediction and is one of my most anticipated releases. The next book that I have, it's a 5-star prediction, is the second book to Amari and the Night Brothers, Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston. I haven't read a lot of middle grade books before. I've read a couple middle grade books, but this book, this is a debut, and it got 5 stars. So Amari and the Great Game, which is the second book in this series, is also a 5-star prediction. It comes out in the UK in April, but for me, I think it comes out in August, September, since I live in the US. Of course, with all these 5-star predictions, I'm kind of going into them sort of blind, and that's kind of like how I like to do all of my books. So I don't particularly know what Amari and the Night Brothers is out. In this video, you won't get any thoughts and feelings or synopsis of any of these books. But yeah, Amari and the Great Game is definitely a 5-star prediction, just because this was, will it get 5 stars? I don't know. It's a 5-star prediction. But anyways, definitely looking forward to reading that when it comes out. The next book I have is Wolf Song by T.J. Klune. Yes, I already mentioned one T.J. Klune book on this list. He's mentioned a couple other times on here. This author is one of my favorites, and I'm so glad I discovered his writing this year. So this, I do know about what a little bit about this book series is about. So this one is, I believe it's about wolves. It's definitely still LGBTQ+. I think there's a mystery involved. I don't know if I really like the aspect of werewolves due to Twilight, but because I think it's a little bit different in the fact that there aren't vampires, but in the also fact that it's also LGBTQ+, I'm thinking I'm going to really, really like this series. So Wolf Song is the first one. I believe it's a quartet, so there are 4. So this book series is definitely a 5-star prediction. The next book I have on here is a 5-star prediction. I'm going to use by holding up the second book because I have the second book. Is Heatwave by T.J. Klune. So this is Flashfire by T.J. Klune, the second book in the Extraordinary series. I read the first book, The Extraordinaries, in September for Becca's Book Awful Fun because I landed on LGBTQ+ prompt, and I knew it was LGBTQ+. And it was actually my first T.J. Klune, and I gave it 5 stars. The third and final book, Heatwave, comes out in July, which is my birthday month, so it will be my birthday present to myself will be Heatwave by T.J. Klune, and I can't wait to read it. I'm not looking forward to the ending. I think I know what happens, but I'm not entirely certain based on the ending of this, which was quite drastic, but I kind of knew was coming. It's weird for me with intrigue because I'm a very intuitive person and I know what's coming. But anyways, it has an ending that I wasn't expecting, and I can't wait to dive into the third one and find out how this book series ends. There's also some really funny moments in here too, which is kind of why I like it. It's quite a wholesome time. I like superheroes, so definitely a book series I think you guys should check out if you haven't done so already. The next 2 books on this list are in the same series, and that is Saint's Blood by Sebastian Castell and Tyrants Throne by Sebastian Castell, the 3rd and 4th book in the Greatcoat series. Last month I read the second book, Night Shadow, which I gave 5 stars, and I also gave Traitor's Blade, which is the first book in this series, 5 stars as well. Both Traitor's Blade and Night Shadow in this book series gave me 5 stars. Then you betcha the 3rd and 4th books are also 5-star predictions for me too. I mean, the reason why I like this book series so much is the writing style is really witty, and it kind of feels like the main character is talking to you as you're there. So it kind of feels like you're there with the characters too, and that's why I absolutely love it. Yes, there are some dark moments, but overall, it doesn't faze me as much. I'm really looking forward to reading those 2 books. I don't know when I'm going to. Definitely in the new future, and definitely before, and definitely will finish the series out this year. So I'm looking forward to that. So the next book is, as a 5-star prediction, is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. So Vengeful is the second book in the Villainous series by V.E. Schwab. The reason why this book is a 5-star prediction is because I'm drawn to like the first book, Vicious, which I read back in December, and I really enjoyed it. And I ended up giving it 4 stars is what the rating came out to be on CallPile. But ever since I've given it that rating, I've been drawn more and more to it. And I think maybe I should change my rating, or at least definitely give the second book, which I've heard is better than the first, more of a thought. when it comes to its rating and stuff. So this is definitely why it's a 5-star prediction. It wouldn't be the first V.E. Schwab book to get 5 stars for me. That was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And this is more of an adult story. I think at this time, it's actually going to be a trilogy, but I'm still not entirely certain of it. So we're just going to put Vengeful on this list for right now as my 5-star prediction. I am definitely looking forward to reading it because the ending for Vicious was so good. And still to this day, I wonder why I ended up giving it 4 stars. And I might go back and change my rating to 5 stars because I did love it. The next book is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I have heard essentially really good things about this book. Number one, I know going into it that the title does give away what happens, and I'm actually kind of really okay with it because I'm one of those types of people that doesn't do quite well with change. Which you may think I'm a reader, I should do it. But if I'm reading the book, it's a little bit better because I have time to digest the characters well and get into the book. The reason why this book is 5-star predictions is I've heard Maddie from Book Browsing Blog say how much she really likes this book. Number one, it's contemporary, LGBTQ+, it's science fiction. She really loves it. I'm thinking based off of what she told me, and we kind of like the similar books with the TJ Klune. Because it's LGBTQ+, and it's science fiction, I'm thinking it's probably going... With the ending, I already know the ending. The title gives it away. It's not a spoiler. The title gives away what's going to happen. Knowing just that's the ending probably means I'm going to end up crying at the end of this book, and I kind of want to be here for it. To this day, I've never had a book that's actually made me full-blown cry. I've had a couple moments where it's made me tear up, but never where full-blown cry. And I think it might happen with this book, and I'm looking forward to experiencing that because I never have. The next book is going to be Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I'm just probably going to put all of TJ Klune's in the 5-star predictions category. If I'm reading this many books by him, they're mostly getting 5 stars. But definitely this one especially is on my 5-star predictions list. It's kind of actually for not only the reason is because I really like the author so much, is number one, I've heard it's a really, really good book. But number two, I think it's about the subject matter. This is not a spoiler because it happens within like the first chapter, is this book does deal with grief and loss. And that's kind of one of the topics that as a person and as a Cancer, I really feel for people. And as such, I grow attached. I've heard this book really explains the process of grief and dealing with the process of letting go. TJ Klune does it really well. And also it's LGBTQ+. Because of that, this book is a 5-star prediction. I'm probably going to fall in love. And I've heard this one and The House in the Cerulean Sea, they're in the same world. And I think, I'm not entirely certain there's a third book that's also in the same world. It might be The Extraordinaries that's also within the same world. It's not set in the same world. It's like the worlds are linked. And I'm pretty certain the characters might be linked as well. I'm not entirely certain of that. But regardless, this book is a 5-star predictions. I've heard nothing but beautiful things about it. It deals with a topic that, not I'm interested in, but I'm interested in learning about how to deal with it. And I think it's going to be done in a really nice way. Final 5-star prediction on here is Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. So, It's a little weird for me to be putting this book on here, and that's because I've actually already read this book. I read Howl's Moving Castle in 10th grade in high school for an English project where we had to do like this independent reading thing and then give a book presentation about the book. And at that time, I was essentially falling in love with Studio Ghibli movies. And I had read and I had watched Howl's Moving Castle and absolutely adored it. It's one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies. I love it. If you haven't seen Howl's Moving Castle, you should go check it out. And then I learned it was based off of an actual book. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to read the book. We'll do a contrasting movies. And part of the project I did for it is I made like an actual like presentation character. So this is Calcifer, which I made. So I'm probably going to put him on my bookshelf by the book when I get it. But the reason it's a 5-star prediction, and the reason why it's on this list, even though it's a reread, is at the time of reading it, I really, really enjoyed it. But I don't know what its call pile rating would have been in terms of 4 or 5 stars. I don't know. It's either one of the others. But because I remember really enjoying with it, I think it's going to be a 5-star prediction. It might be a 5 stars. And if it's not, hey, this is a 5-star prediction list. None of these books on this list have to actually get 5 stars for me. This is just 5-star prediction. I'm looking forward to reading it again. I haven't read it in years. Last time I read it, I was like 15 years old, and oh gosh, it's been almost 10 years since I've read that book. And I kind of want to rewatch the movie again. I haven't done so since. And I want to definitely read Howl's Moving Castle again and see if it actually would get 5 stars for me. I think it would. If not, it's going to be 4-star. So yeah, that is going to be it for my 5-star predictions video / some of my most anticipated reads of 2022. I'm very much looking forward to reading every single book that was on this list. And you guys will hopefully see all my thoughts and feelings on all these books that I mentioned at some point. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did, please give this video a like if you liked it and subscribe for more bookish content by me. Comment down below what your guys' 5-star predictions are for 2022. We may have some of the similar books. If you made it this far into the video, comment a star emoji for a 5-star prediction. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, we are the one within the all.